Our next guest has his new stand-up special, Thank You, China, available now on YouTube, making his Tonight Show debut. Please welcome the very funny Nimesh Patel.
Hi. Thank you guys so much. My parents caught me smoking weed on a YouTube live stream at age 35. My dad called me immediately. Nimesh, what are you smoking? I said, it's weed, Dad. He said, you need to quit. I said, okay, Dad, I'll quit smoking weed when you quit smoking cigarettes. He said the most dad thing ever. He said, I'm not going to argue with you. I said, yeah, Dad, we just had the argument. You lost. It's fine. Take the L, bro. So I'll get you back. Then he hung up, and a few minutes later, I started seeing all the dislikes on my YouTube videos go up by 1. And then I got a call from my mom. Nimesh, what are you smoking? And she's mad religious, so I said, Hindu Kush? She said, don't get smart. Is that weed? You need to stop. It's illegal. I said, illegal? So is not paying taxes on that all-cash liquor store we got going on, but I won't tell if you don't. Without missing a beat, she says, Nimesh, the store's in your name. You don't pay taxes. Snitching on myself. And then she said, Nimesh, you need to quit. You have asthma. I said, Mom, I read when I was high that weed is a bronchodilator. And she goes, oh, so now you want to be a doctor? That's cute. Speaking of which, clap if you believe that Americans deserve health care. Clap if you believe Americans. You don't? Me neither. I think we need it, but I don't think we deserve it. I know I don't deserve health care. A few years ago, I discovered exactly how much weed I need to smoke to have an asthma attack. I had an asthma attack. I went to a Kanye West concert, back when it was okay to do, and I smoked 4 joints in an hour. And then his song, I Am a God, came on, and I was like, I'm not Kanye, I have to go to the hospital. And I called an Uber to the hospital, because an ambulance is $600, and I'm not going to die a sucker, you know? Get to the hospital, NYU Langone in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn. And now I have asthma, so I know exactly what I need. Doctor, I'm having an asthma attack. You're having an asthma attack. I need albuterol nebulizer. You need albuterol nebulizer. I'm like, is this self-checkout? What's happening right now? Just give me my medicine. He's like, you'll be fine. And he shuffles away in his Ferragamo loafers. And then in comes a nurse who has a menu of all the other stuff I could get since I've stopped in at Casa de NYU. Blood work, EKG, the chef recommended X-ray. But I don't present as a 30-year-old Indian man having a heart attack. What they're doing is running up the insurance tab because insurance will just pay whatever the hospital says. And whatever they don't pay, they pass on to you. But luckily, I said the magic words. I said, I don't have insurance. This lady threw an inhaler at me and was like, get out, you wheezy broke loser. Jesus. Sure. You're clapping for poor healthcare. That's great. That's great. In and out in an hour and a half. 2 weeks later, get the bill, $6,000. Yeah, I had another asthma attack. $6,000 for an hour and a half and not a single orgasm. But luckily, I was raised by Indian people who taught me that the price is never the price until you talk about the price. I called the hospital. I said, listen, I'm not giving you $6,000. They said, why not? I said, well, for one, you already gave me the medicine. 2, I don't have $6,000. Now, I had $6,000, but I also know a little bit about the healthcare system. I know if that you get sick at the beginning of the year like I did, every hospital has this giant pool of money they have to give away for free care in order to stay nonprofit. Sidebar, if you get sick and have to go to the hospital in like December, just hold on, okay? Just hold on for dear life. And I know this as I'm talking to them. Listen, I don't have $6,000. I can't give you $6,000. I don't have $6,000. They literally said, how much do you have? Did I call the mob? I got nothing. You can break my knees if you want. I'm not giving you $6,000. They're like, all right, Mr. Patel, no need to be upset. Listen, if you don't have $6,000, you don't owe us $6,000. But if you have $6,000 and you're not paying it, you might be taking $6,000 out of the pocket of someone who truly can't pay. I said, phew. Don't hit the player, hit the game. Click. Thank you guys so much. I'm Nimesh.
Come on. Thank you, brother. Nimesh Patel! Thank You China is available now on YouTube. Hey, hey.